Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan and
Welcome to show 402.
400. Yeah, that's what we figure how many shows we've done since we started like 8 years ago. So we're still going strong. They haven't canceled us yet.
Not yet.
ESPN's been calling
Yep.
to see if they could get a show for us in
Franchise
the
us.
morning. Yeah. So
Only problem we don't have any girls here, so none of us are good looking
No.
enough
we have
or have hair.
we have faces for radio. Put it that way. But Ron still somehow finds a way to get us on there and makes us look good. So thank you to Ron Werkela for all his hard work.
It's AI.
yeah. So we
Not much going on in the world of sports.
no, but the lead. We'll just dip right into the Legion team. Played in the Grand Rapids tournament last weekend, and I know they lost to Princeton. I was over there for that game, 8-6, I believe. And then that was in their pool play, and then they beat Cloquet and Lakeview in their next two games to get to. I don't know what they were seeded into the quarterfinals, but they ended up beating West Duluth, and then they went into the semifinals on Sunday and played Fridley Totino Grace, and they ended up losing that game 3-0. So at least they advanced
Yeah.
to the semifinals, and yeah, and I don't know if it's Fridley or Totino, but I've been hearing that they have been to the state tournament the last 3 or 4 years, so they're obviously a loaded team down there, especially if it's Totino being private.
Private school.
So
Let me guess. Rapids won.
no, Rapids actually got beat by Superior,
Oh, okay.
so it was actually Totino, Fridley, and Superior in the finals. Right after that Hibbing game got over with.
Okay.
So no, Rapids did not. I was kind of shocked to hear that, but Superior usually comes away with a pretty good Legion team in the summertime. So it's not, I guess, not surprising, but it is kind of surprising. But
Now, this is kids that are 18 and under.
17, 18 years old, and
Okay.
I suppose there's some teams that have some 16-year-olds, assuming that they're good. If you're playing at 16, you're good enough to play there.
Yeah.
So.
Good.
And I suppose there could be, depending on birth dates and all that, there's first-year college kids can come back and play. So that, and now they're off. I think they were off all week this week, and they don't go back and play until next week sometime. So they have a couple more home games left. I know one's against Barnum, Moose Lake, and there's another one coming up, but I can't remember.
One thing good, though, we still have VFW and we still have Legion Ball, which is nice for the kids that want to continue playing baseball during the summer. So,
And speaking of VFW, nice segue.
like that.
He knew it was coming.
Yep.
The VFW team played Rock Ridge on Monday and beat them, I think, 8-7 in the point game for this district, and then they lost the second game. And then they played Grand Rapids the other day on Tuesday, and they ended up beating them 9-3, something like that in the first game, which counts for the points game. And
Right.
then they lost the second game, giving up like 6 runs in the top of the 5th inning, and they were ahead. What was it, 6-2, I think.
Now, the second game, is that when they play some of the kids that really don't play a lot?
Well, technically, but they still have it, depending on how big your roster is. You still play some of the other
Right.
kids. But yeah, somebody who doesn't get to pitch a whole lot will probably pitch in that game and stuff like that. But they handled it okay. I mean, until that last inning, and they only play 5-inning games in that second one. Why the heck is my watch going off? God, people, I got to get off these text chains. But
Well, especially when they're 900 numbers.
yeah, yeah, I don't want those numbers. So they've been on. Now they'll be off for another till I know I'm just trying to change the subject here because your mind's dirty.
Well, I just noticed that you get a picture every time your phone
Oh,
comes off. And if you got a
picture.
900 number going there, I'm going, what the hell kind of picture you
Yeah,
looking at?
okay. So no, they're setting up
We're not going to make it to episode 403.
my golfing
golfing.
buddies at the Muni are setting up a tea time today.
Oh,
so
nice.
maybe I'll go down there and play.
Boy, I tell you, I drove, not to take away your thunder, but I drove past her this morning. Boy, the course looks in good shape.
Yeah, the Muni is in definitely good shape,
Yeah.
and I don't know the guy's name who's running it. If somebody can find that out, please. But he's doing a good job out there. He's got the golf carts out there now.
Yep.
So you can rent golf carts if you don't feel like
Well,
walking.
now that you mentioned the name, I know who he is.
Huh.
Oh, I can't remember my own name. But he used to have the taxi service in town.
Randy.
Randy
Murray?
Randy Murray.
Yep.
Okay.
Took a lot of photos of the racetrack
Yeah,
cars and all that.
there you go.
All right.
See, between the two of us.
Well, yeah, we'll get half of it right
Yeah.
anyway. No, but he's doing a great job down there, and the course looks great. There's sand in the sand traps, and
Hats off to Howie, who's running the not the park and rec, or what do you call it, his department over there.
oh yeah,
Takes
he's
care of
running
golf
the
course and
maintenance, the
maintenance,
golf course
right.
maintenance course. Yes, they're
The
all
ball
doing a
fields.
great job.
So,
So keep it up. I might be out there at 10:30. It looks like.
well, we'll get you out of here.
Okay, yeah, I should be out of here by then, but
Who are you playing with?
probably Kevin Milani and Joe Seba, maybe Richard Milani, Ken Strukel.
Oh, Feistel.
Yeah, we play scramble. We go there and play. We don't
Yeah.
hit our own. We don't hit our own golf balls. We all play scramble.
Don't you get a little bored? You're driving a golf cart all the time when you can't hit.
Well, we walk out there. We don't have a golf cart. That course is too easy to walk, so it saves. It's good exercise. So
That's one golf course you don't lose a lot of golf balls because it's pretty wide open.
yeah, I don't know, but they have that Bermuda Triangle in there
Yeah.
between 6 and 7. You hit a ball in there.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
you
true.
don't find it.
Yeah.
But, so we ended up in a very early age calling it the Bermuda Triangle because it just
Well,
disappears.
it's better than Alligator Alcatraz.
No. Yeah, it's don't hit your ball near the water, and if you do, don't go near it.
Yeah.
Stay as far away as possible. So at least there's no gators out there to contend with. But yeah, so VFW will get back on track here, and we'll see what happens there. They both have decent teams, so maybe they can make some noise in the
So
playoffs.
districts start coming in
End of
later in
July,
July versus into August?
End of July,
Okay.
and so that'll be they'll be interesting to see what happens.
Good.
A lot of good teams. I mean, all the teams are good. So
Well, it seems like the baseball is kind of hopefully making a little comeback, because I noticed last Thursday, I'm sorry, 2 Thursdays ago for Miracle League Thursday night, they were playing over at Little League, and they had a late inning last at bat type winning, and people were going a little crazy, but a lot of people out watching the game, which is really nice to see.
Mhm. yeah, I was there last night watching before and I was going to bring this up anyway, but the city band played last night down at the park, and I went down there and watched some Little League. But again, I want to give I didn't do it last week, but I want to give Julie Sandsteed and the city band a call out, because they're a fantastic group of performers.
Good.
And if you don't get to the park, Ron here records all the concerts and puts them on HPAT. And
Now, is that every week they play down there?
they started last week, but they were in the little theater at the arena or at the Memorial Building because it
Because of
was
the
weather. Last night it turned out nice, so they were back at the park. So they will be at the park every night, for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I believe. And if the weather's bad, then they'll be in the cafeteria part of the arena. So
Hats off to the pickleball court guys. It's busy all
Well.
day long. There are people playing pickleball. It's nice to see some activity finally going on at the park.
and I didn't see. I heard that they played some junior league games out at Vic Power, and I don't know why they weren't using
Nyberg?
Nyberg Field. Now I know there was a practice going on there after, like at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or 7:30 to 8, but that still should be reserved for.
At Vic Power, it's a tough place to play a baseball game, especially that field number 5.
Whatever it is. I know what
There's
you mean.
no fence,
No dirt infield.
dirt
and
infield. Yeah, it's
They'd be better off, and I don't think the college field. There's some AstroTurf down the baselines, I believe, but the college field would be a better field to play
Yep.
at than.
which they used to play all the time. That's where we put the dugouts, and you had it all set up for them. And
Yeah, but now they go to Vic Power, and they should be playing at Al Nyberg. No, you know, but then somebody did say that these kids transition from little league to junior league, that the field might be too big
No,
for some of them, or you don't think so?
no. If it's too big for you, move the kid in. I mean, yeah, it's a long throw from third to first for maybe someone, but no, it's,
Well,
how else are you gonna learn to play the game?
well, you're right, but I think sometimes that to have that little bit, just a field obviously bigger than the little league field, but just a little bit smaller than
Well,
the
just,
regular baseball field, it wouldn't hurt.
they're not gonna hit the ball any harder or any less, so if we
No.
move someone in at Nyberg and just move them in towards the grass a little more, it's the same thing.
Mm. No, I get it. I'm with you. I'd rather play on the big
Yeah.
field than that, but some kids just aren't at that age, like 13. It's probably kind of hard for them to throw across a big field like that. My watch is still
Without,
going on.
without hitting the pitcher.
Yeah,
Look out!
which has probably happened
No.
a few times.
What else going on?
Well, we do have, we talked about it, Oklahoma. The musical will be going on.
Right to the drama?
Yeah, right to the drama department.
Wow.
July 24th, 25th, and 27th.
July 24th, 25th, and 27th at the Hibbing High School Auditorium.
Yep.
So if you're looking for something to do that weekend, you have your opportunity to go watch some very good local talent. Put on Oklahoma. I don't know. We've seen it obviously at Chanhassen when we've gone down there,
Mhm.
you know. But and of course those are mostly professional actors. But I'm sure these actors and actresses are going to do just a fine job.
Well, that's one spot, Chanhassen Dinner Theater, that brings back, that's been there for 60, 70 years.
Oh man, yeah. But it's a great. I never thought I'd ever be into that until I actually met my wife, and she's obviously into that
Yep.
because she's a musician and singer and can play just about any instrument I think you put in front of her. But then she took me down there, and it's actually fun, you know. And the dinners they serve down there are very good.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
so if you've never been there, I heard Grease is going on there right now. So if you want to see Grease,
kind of a fun one.
yeah, that would be a good one to go to. So
Okay,
there's that.
what's next?
I don't know. What else did we talk about?
Well, if you want to bring up drama, we could talk about the Twins, we could talk
Well-
about the Wild, we could talk
Let's do
about the
First Avenue
Vikings.
Mile first.
Oh yeah, we do. We have the First Avenue Mile coming up on Friday, July 11th.
Yep.
It's starting at 7 p.m. and then there's 2 other start times for races. I wasn't quite sure why they're having 3 races, but they're
3 different classes.
well, yeah, must be putting it in, you know,
Like a youth
younger,
and
maybe
adult.
the youth and the younger ones, and then moving on up to the
The golden oldies.
yeah. But she's having, but Heather Matvey and I are having a hard time coming up with times and records of races. They do have some. They found a brochure from 1985 that had some records on it,
Oh,
but that was
oh.
only the 3rd year of existence, or at least the 2nd year.
Won't Brian Carriage have some?
Well, they don't, I guess, because obviously back then there were no computers.
Yeah,
So it
that's
was
true.
all handwritten, and you just don't have the the databases that you have today, where you can go
Well,
look.
With that wide, wide range audience that we have, there might be somebody out watching
No.
that has some information they could pass on to you.
That would be fine. I would please do so. My email address is in the paper, obviously. So if you know anything about it, I don't know what Brian knows. I've never talked to Brian about it, but I'm sure Heather has been in contact with him.
Yeah.
So please, if you know anything, well, there was a 25-year hiatus in there. I think 2000 or 2001, 2002 was the last time they had it. And about that time, you probably did have a few more options as far as getting times down.
Yeah.
But now it's so you can watch them. You can watch races in real time and get the times right away from the internet. So But yeah, so that'll be run there. She wanted to change it up. She wanted to bring it more back to the original history. Last year they moved the race up on First Avenue. They moved it up from the original starting line, and then they finished down by the Holiday
Yep.
gas station. And then this year they're moving it back to the original track, and they'll be finishing right by the Tribune. So they have more time, more area to expand in. I get,
Well,
you
you
know,
got the big parking lot there for the Tribune,
Yeah.
and
and we're more than happy to
Yeah.
give them that, grant them that access. I mean, it's for the community.
Plus, it's not on Saturday morning.
You know, and it's not on Saturday morning. You have to remember, it's at Friday evening. She thought that having it on Saturday is just too much in one day.
with the Jubilee and the parade and the,
Yep.
yep.
So she moved it to Friday night, and so far, I guess responses has been good.
Good. Hey,
The-
you're running under the lights.
Yeah,
Oh, and when the race is done, head over to the Raceway for the fireworks at 10 o'clock
well, yeah. I guess there's fireworks that's 11th.
on the 11th.
11th. Yeah, there's the
Yep.
fireworks at the Raceway.
You know, you can stay right downtown on Howard Street and watch them too.
Probably
Still got a
just.
pretty good view from downtown.
And there'll be the parade will happen, and then there'll be class reunions going on
That's right, yep.
downtown. I hope to see some familiar faces.
And the Jubilee Street Dance has now been extended to go down past Security State Bank.
Oh, really?
That they'll have a band and a setup at security across from Rudy's, and then Boomtown and Sportsman have their spot. The pub will have her spot, and then my understanding there's the Do You's having outdoor DJ type thing, and I think the corner in Sammy's is going to have the same deal.
Yeah,
So
Same.
And the,
axe throwing bar that
what
has
is that called? The Iron House.
Iron House.
Firehouse.
Will
Yep.
have festivities. So I'm hoping I hope the weather is good for it.
Palmer's and Checkers too also have something going on down there.
No, Palmer's is the new owner of Palmer's is going to be at Rudy's.
Oh, they're moving there. Oh,
They're moving
that's
their
right.
license there for the night. For the
Okay.
day. So,
All right.
but
So a lot of exciting things got coming.
hopefully
up.
the weather holds. I mean, hopefully we have a nice day for it. I know they've got a nice lineup for the band. Unfortunately, we don't have for the parade, we don't have the bands that we've had in the past, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, and there's a lot of locally good bands that play.
Yep.
So it'll be fun to listen to all of them.
But I meant like marching bands for the
No,
parade.
that part, but even the bands at the parade or at the
Street dance.
street dance, there's a lot of local people
yeah.
that are very talented.
Yep.
So give them a shout out when you see them. I want to also say that I went to the races Tuesday night.
Did you get your Brian Newman?
I did get to talk to
Autograph?
Ryan Newman. I did not get an autograph. I don't think that's appropriate for me to do that, but I did get to talk to him, and I'm running a story on that.
Nice.
Get them to sign a check for you.
Yeah.
I understand they had a really nice turnout. A lot of people.
I did not look up into the stands, so I do not know.
What do you walk around like this? Hey, hope they don't see
I'm
me.
down in the pits, so I am. But he was very gracious to give me an interview. I appreciated it.
Nice.
I got a lot of information in the story off of Wikipedia because I don't. I mean, I watch NASCAR. I don't put it this way. I don't watch a lot of NASCAR.
You got that from where?
Wikipedia.
That sounds like my ex-wife.
Yeah. But he in his career, I think he started like in 2000 or 2001, and he ran until 2023, and he did win 18 events, including the Daytona 500.
Won the Daytona. Oh, okay.
And he
That-
won Brickyard 400. He also won
Wow.
once for sure. But I told him, I said 18 wins. That's not bad.
No.
And that, I mean, because it's competitive in that series.
Did he say who did he race for? Did he say which was
Well,
it Childress or
He raced for Penske to
Penske.
start,
okay?
and then he ended up racing. I think he did race for Childress at one point in his career, and then there was
Okay.
about 2 or 3 other. That's why I had to go to Wikipedia because I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
but he did run for other or what do you call them, companies or
And-
sponsors.
Sponsors. And he actually rode at the race in Hibbing too. He had a car that he ran, right?
Jeff Provenzino built a late model for him. Of course, I don't think he did. I don't think it ran well, and that's not anything on Jeff.
No.
But when you're putting a car together in like a week and a half, you gotta learn how the car runs and all that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Well, you got to give kudos for the track. I mean, they're doing different things, trying to get different events and more people to come out. So,
and is it Barry Braun?
Barry Braun.
He's the one, yeah, because that's what Newman told me, is that he and Barry had been working this out to see if he could get him to come up
Yep.
here, and Barry got him up here. So more power
Good.
to Barry Braun for bringing Ryan Newman up. Maybe they can bring some more guys up
And
here
some
every
different
summer.
events. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice.
Well, we better get going. We got the Twins to talk about. We got the Wild. So, who do you want to go with?
Well, let's first start with the Wild. Made a trade.
Big deal.
Vladimir Tarasenko, who's 33 years old. You said he was 38, but I think he's only
Hey,
33.
38. What's the difference?
He's near the end. He's more near the middle end of his career than he is at the beginning of his.
Right.
If you could have picked him up maybe 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah, he was a heck of a
I'd
player.
say great, but we'll see. I mean, maybe he and Kaprizov will form some kind of chemistry
Well,
if they sign him,
Well,
or Kaprizov, that is.
I think they're going to sign it because this guy they got in the trade talked to Kaprizov, and that's the reason he wanted to come here, because Kaprizov kind of talked to him. I don't see Kaprizov jumping ship right now, but you never
No,
know.
because this is where he's going to get the most money,
Right.
and he can. I don't know how the salary cap works or what the stipulations are, but you can sign places for. Here, you could sign for 7 or 8 years,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's like
He's
baseball.
set.
You can sign a $1 billion contract, and then they throw in a suite
Yeah.
at the stadium for you. Wow.
and then now I heard they picked up Nico Sturm, and I'm like,
Who?
why? Yeah, I'm like, why? I don't get it. For what? In your locker room?
Yeah.
Is this guy going to score you 25, 30, 35 goals in a year? No, because he's been here before and he didn't
Yep.
do it when he was here. That's like picking up the Nyquist guy last year. He
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Cost him a draft pick.
I don't know. I should get a hold of Micheletti, and because I heard him on the K-Fan a couple times this last week about that, and we had supposedly had all this money freed up to pick up some scoring depth and to do whatever Bill Guerin needed to do. But then I heard Micheletti say that when the salary cap went up, that allowed teams to, maybe they didn't think they could keep somebody,
Oh, okay.
and then now they were able to keep somebody. So the free agent market kind of dried up.
Speaking of free agents or signings, the young kid from Oklahoma. Oh wait, no. Who won the NBA champion? Is Oklahoma?
Oklahoma City.
The young kid that just signed a $245
Mm.
million contract for 2 years or
Yeah,
something like
wow.
that. Holy, where'd they get the money?
Yeah, they've got that first apron and second apron thing
Yeah.
in the NBA.
And LeBron wants to come play for the Timberwolves. Oh,
No, you didn't hear that. There's no way you heard that.
you never know.
Yeah,
But they got Reed and they got the other. What's his name signed back,
they
right?
signed Reed and they signed Randall, and I don't think they're doing anything else. And you're not gonna advance any farther. I mean, great, going to the conference finals is great, but unless you add another depth scorer,
Yeah.
you're not going anywhere, because the East West is just too tough.
And the one kid that played defense and really played hard all the time, he left and went to Atlanta. Was it Tyler Alexander?
Nikhil Alexander. Yeah, I'm not that heartbroken about that one. He absolutely did nothing. And when my son says he didn't do anything in the playoffs, then I feel vindicated,
Okay.
because he did not perform well in this year's playoffs. Now, he's been a steady player for us for the last 2 or 3 years since he came over from Utah. But this year in the playoffs, I mean, pretty much everybody else though in the playoffs kind of
Yeah.
didn't play very well either. So we're just not getting We're not getting names. We're not adding depth. We're not
Yeah.
doing. And they got rid of Luca Garza.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not that he was anything real
Yeah,
special, but
yeah.
he's going to Boston, and good for him
Yep.
because maybe he'll get a chance to play more there.
Yeah.
And I don't. Who do you blame that on? I mean, it's just Finch. If Finch doesn't want to play him, there's got to be a reason.
Right. Yeah, and you can't blame Finch. I think he's done a fantastic job with the Wolves for the last 3 years now, so.
Certainly he has, but he didn't play Dillingham very much.
No.
Didn't play T.J. Shannon too much. Didn't play Jalen Clark that much, unless of course injuries took 2 or 3 guys out of the
Right.
lineup. So now you're going to have to rely on for sure Dillingham and Shannon a lot more next year, and hopefully they pan out and improve their games and are able to play and contribute. The Twins.
Oh, boy. What a disaster. I'm surprised he still has a job.
Well,
But you know they're not going to do anything until they get a new owner. And they're just going to milk it as long as they can, and the attendance will go down, and then they'll, oh, we're going to have to move the team somewhere else because we don't have the attendance.
well, you'd have the attendance if you're supposedly had the product to put out there to attract fans.
Yep.
But obviously the product, other than that 13-game winning streak, has not been good.
Well, you look at Carlos Correa, his career, he's older, and his numbers have steadily gone down.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy that's supposed to be able to hit the ball when you need him the most at the end of the game to get you a winning run, he's not there.
Not there.
So,
Although I did look at average. I know we're running out of time here, but he is hitting over 250. Buxton is hitting over 270, I think.
yeah.
He's really come on. And now we're seeing the player that we thought we were going to see if he
Well,
stayed healthy.
he's the player they paid $800 million for.
Yeah, and he's he's not hitting over 300, but I don't know if that's feasible for him or not. And Correa, like you say, is older, and I don't think he's going to hit 300
No.
anymore. But hey, we come to the end of another show. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Security State Bank, located at 701 East Howard Street, is invested not only in Hibbing and its surrounding communities, but their customers as well. Experience relationship-based banking, superior customer service, and the pride that comes with reinvesting in our community. There's a difference.